Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new here. My name is Julie. I'm a homeschooling mom of 5. If you are new here, then I hope you will hit the subscribe button and stick around. I'm guessing you came here to my channel today because you are interested in homeschooling content, and I do have a lot of that homeschooling content here on my channel. Today's video topic is 5 homeschooling habits, healthy homeschool habits that are important in our family that we implement. Some of these habits we have implemented for years. Some of them are more new, but I think that these are great habits to have in any homeschool. So let's go ahead and get started. Number 1 is wake up before the kids. I know you've been told this before, I know you've heard this, and it is easier said than done. But as a homeschooling mom, I find it like so important. I can't even describe how important it is. During the summertime, not so much. I don't always do this, but during the school year, I need that time just to myself before the kids are getting up. Now you can kind of play with this and make it work for your family. So if you have really early risers, your kids are waking up at 6. Do you want to wake up at 5 o'clock to wake up before them? Probably not, although I know some homeschooling moms who do wake up at 5, some of them here on YouTube, and I watch their channels and I'm like, 5? That is so early. I wake up typically at 6. Now, some people have kids who sleep in. My kids, most of them, do not sleep in. My oldest has always been a really early riser. But early on, we implemented a wake up time, a time that they are allowed to get out of their rooms. So they have clocks in their rooms, my older ones have watches, and they know that unless they have to go to the washroom, they can't be out of their rooms before 7 o'clock. My youngest is about to turn 3, and even with him over these past couple months, we've gotten to the point where he will stay in his bed until we come into his room and get him up. And so that is like life-changing, knowing that 7 o'clock, that is my time. Like that is when the kids are all gonna be filing out of their rooms. So however early I can get up before 7, I will have that time to myself. So whether you want to wake up earlier or you want to do what I do and just have your kids stay in their rooms a little bit longer, whatever you need to do, if you have some time to yourself before the day starts and into meals and school and just everything, the busyness of each day, I would definitely recommend getting up before the kids. My next tip is one that I am constantly working at, constantly kind of reining myself in, like, okay, Julie, you need to slow down and enjoy the learning process. I want to just get my boxes checked off. I want to write my to-do list at the start of the day, and I write down, what subjects we want to get to, and we want to complete those subjects. And I naturally just feel like I want to get through and get all that stuff done. And so that can lead to really rushing the kids, maybe getting annoyed if they're not understanding things, and just not thinking through all that they are learning in being able to solve problems and just instead wanting to get it completed. So I have been working, and I'm still working at just changing my mindset, changing my perspective, and it makes a world of difference. I've come a long way in not just, okay, let's get this done. We want to do one lesson of math. Let's just get that lesson of math done. If my child needs help, on a lesson, is it more important that I rush them and just push them to just finish that math lesson? Or is it more important for me to be getting on their level, having that connection with them, talking it through, listening to their frustrations, and even if they just get that one question done in their math lesson, that connection we've had, that patience I have shown, that is more important than just checking off the boxes showing that our schoolwork is complete. They are only little for so long, and these days, these years are just flying by. I'm homeschooling and I want to be spending this time with them, devoting this time to them. And am I just homeschooling because I just have a different idea of what their education should look like. No, that's not the only reason I'm homeschooling. Yes, I want to be in charge of what they're studying and what their education looks like, but they are also home because I want that connection with them. I want them to be spending time with their siblings. I want them to be more influenced by my husband and I. That is a big part of why we homeschool as well. And so sometimes we just need to change our definition of a good school day. Is a good school day one where everything is complete? Maybe. But if we have lost our patience along the way, yelled at the kids, focused more on these rules than on our relationship with them, then that is not a good school day. We can have a very good and productive school day even if academically on a sheet of paper it doesn't look like we accomplished a lot. I was going to make this a third point, but then I kind of looked through my notes and thought, nah, I'm just going to tie this in with tip number 2, and that is just to be flexible. Again, that's why I want to homeschool, so that I can be flexible. So if it's a beautiful day and some friends want to get together and go to a park, yeah, we can be flexible. We can do that. We can make appointments during the day. If for whatever reason we were up late the night before or up during the night, we don't need to be up and at it first thing in the morning. We can have a more relaxed morning and start school a little bit later in the day. Remember that part of homeschooling is the flexibility, and so be flexible when you need to be. Another habit, and this is what I'm still working on, is to be present. I like to kind of schedule my days in a block schedule manner. And that's where my getting up early comes in, and I can kind of have that time to focus on what I want to do. Usually it's working out or Bible time and stuff like that. But I have that block of time to do stuff earlier on in the day, and so when it's school time, I really am trying to be very present and very active in what the kids are learning, and they're right by their side ready to help them when they need it, especially as they get more into their more independent work. I feel this pull to like, oh, check Instagram and write these couple of emails that I have to write and start making my meal plan and start kind of prepping for lunch. And that's not always a bad thing, but it can very quickly take over, and I am doing something else, not even noticing, oh, my kindergartner just did half of her page wrong, formed her letters wrong because I was busy doing something else. I really try to be present and really just invest those school hours with the kids, and then they will have a break and I can go do something else at that time, and we have a lunch break and stuff. But during that time where I am sitting at the table with them, I try as much as possible to focus on helping them. Next is read aloud. Our reading aloud time in our homeschool is super important. Even on days where we maybe don't get to every subject, we will always get to our read aloud time. I think sometimes we underestimate that time because we think, oh, well, we're just reading. They have time to read themselves too. And these other subjects, getting their math done and getting their writing done and getting their science done is more important than the reading aloud time. I kind of dare to differ on that. As I am reading aloud to the kids, for one, it's a great bonding time, but it is also teaching them all of their subjects. They are learning grammar, they're learning vocabulary, often they're learning history, they're learning personal skills, they are using their imagination. There are so many subjects that are kind of wrapped up together and are included during our read aloud time. Now, yes, obviously all of those subjects I just told you, those need to be done as well in other ways besides just read aloud time, but read aloud time is just such an important part in our homeschool, and if you don't do it in yours, I hope that you will start including it because it's just a great learning time for all of us. My last tip, my last habit is to spend time outside every day. Now, you may be like me and live in a location where you have a long winter and cold weather where the kids don't really want to go outside. I still make it part of each of our days whether we do it first thing in the morning before school, or we'll do it during morning break time, or just after lunch, or later on in the day. We are outside every day. Sometimes that includes putting on coats and mitts and snow pants. It feels like for many months that's what it includes. Or if it's rain jackets and rain boots or whatever, we will spend some time outside. And I think as homeschooling families, it is easy just to be indoors. And if we don't have evening activities at all, it can be easy just to stay indoors all day. Whereas when kids are going to school, it doesn't necessarily need to be pushed that they're having outside time, but they're kind of getting all ready and going outside to go to school, and then going from the vehicle to the school. And even just that little bit of outside time is good for them. It's using up some of that energy. And so there are times where the weather might be crappy and I think, oh, I don't want to go outside, and then the kids get a little bit crazy. No, send them outside. Even just getting all their gear on and going out for 20 minutes, it tires them out, it uses up some of their energy, and they are more ready to come inside and learn. It does get easier as they get older and they can get themselves dressed and go out and everything, but it is definitely a daily habit for us, even if it's just a little bit of time, to spend time outdoors. Those are 5 homeschooling habits that we have in our house. Let me know if you have any of these same habits in your homeschool, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I hope to see you guys again very soon. Bye-bye.